Hello everyone, what's happening? This is Forgo, and today we have a few things to talk about. We have 3 new characters, we got a new Roulette, we have the new Immortal Vulkan. Before we get into that though, the time's about to expire for this little event, so make sure you go into your craft menu here and make sure that you use your items to craft whatever materials you need so they don't go to waste. So the first thing we'll talk about really quick is the new Roulette, which has Athena. Athena is actually a pretty decent character. There's a 3 PG card for her. The thing that's really nice about this character, she's really useful in the team relay dungeon, especially for a lower cost because she's cost 58. And because she increases the attack of all fighters, it doesn't matter what color they are, doesn't matter what type they are, she'll increase their attack. So she's actually a very good leadership for them characters. A lot of us already have her, but it is nice that they did put her in the Roulette. The next thing that we'll jab about really quick is the new Immortal Vulkan. So this is once again another pain in the rear freaking game mode that we gotta do. You can use any character, cost 15 to 65. So it says first, when attacking a poison enemy, increase the enemy damage received. So we're going to need poison damage characters on your first team. So Blue Leona is definitely going to be a must for this team. I haven't played it at all. I haven't tried it. So I don't really know what the best teams are. I haven't played it, but I will be making a video about this in the future. Second, significantly increases blue element fighters' attack when removing burn status. So significantly increases blue element fighters. So blue fighters could be very relevant because their attack's going to go up big time when removing the burn status by using HP recovery effect. So characters that have HP recovery can remove the burn status, and you want to have blue characters in here, blue types, to be able to deal that much more damage. So it's going to be really interesting to figure out who we're all going to need. And then, of course, the decreased power charge rate of all enemies. I'm hoping that the Rio set is going to be very useful here because in Immortal Most, it just didn't seem like it helped at all. Although in Immortal Victor, the Rio set really helps. So I'm hoping it's going to help here as well. We'll see. But I will do a future video about it. Now let's talk about the new fighters. So we got 3 new fighters. We got the new Rio, who's a Fest, and then we have 2 new gold borders. We'll start with Benimaru. So Benimaru is a red balance type, which is really great because you'll actually need a red balance team for your Reviving Hell's Dungeon once you get past tier 40. And he increases red element fighters attack by 30% and shock damage by 30%. So he could be really good for the spider robot, applying that shock damage. Maybe even a good damage striker. We'll have to see here. But as far as his core effects, increase shock damage by 30%. That's a lot. You know, some stuff in here, nothing really major. And then deals shock damage equal to 1.6 times of remaining shock damage and remove shock effect upon landing a critical hit. So he has shock explosion. So you could probably use him for Immortal Most. Increase shock damage by 26% if HP is 70% or more. So he has lots and lots and lots of shock damage. As far as the skills, increase attack speed by 12% for 5 seconds upon use. It's going to be a lot faster. Strike skill, then he has a blast skill on his second skill. Deals shock damage equal to 28% of attack to the target every 1 second. That's really good. And then his third skill deals shock damage equal to 26% of attack. He's just got an insane amount of shock. But I'm not seeing any super armor, nothing like that. So we'll have to see how relevant he's going to be in Championship. In the game, but I do think he'd be a decent leadership to have on the team. And then, of course, his striker deals shock damage equal to 25% of attack to the target. So you can use him as a striker and spider robot, even if you don't use the character as a damage dealing character. Although you could use him as a damage dealing character and just put a Zhong Fei card on him, and then you'll always have chill and shock. He just has a 5 PG card, which is kind of a bummer. Nice, nice, nice. We'll watch that again. Mid kick, then the high kick, kicks him up in the air. Ooh. Dang. That's a fairly fast skill, but I wonder if that's a range attack. That's something I have to figure out later. Like, it might be he has to be up close, but I'm not really sure. And then the third skill. And if that second skill is a range attack, that's going to make him a lot better. But I really think he's probably just going to be a character that you're going to use maybe in Reviving Hell's Dungeon, maybe for the Spider Robot. Yep, same old, same old. And then he's going to have a nice big lightning beam going across the screen. I do love this skill. I think it's awesome. I actually play with a 99 Benimaru in Infinite Battle all the time. Okay. And then we have Andy here. Andy's a purple defensive fighter, which again, you're going to need a purple defensive team for Reviving Hell's Dungeon. So maybe he's something to think about. He has the increased purple element fighter attack by 40% and power charge rate by 20%. So he's got that nice PG gain for purple element fighters. So he's a really great leadership for them. Cost 54. Decreases damage received from attack type enemies by 12%. That's really good. He's a defensive character. That's nice. Don't make him a little tanky. I'm sorry again, Maya. That's really nice. Decreases damage received by 25% and reflects damage received by 2% when HP is 50% more. So he does have a reflect, and then he increases his defenses by 25% for 3 seconds when receiving a critical hit. So he's going to have a lot of defensive stats, especially when he's taking critical hits. Then he gains super armor, which is wonderful. It's a blast skill. His other 2 skills are strike skills. Increased attack by 35% of defenses. I do notice that these cooldowns are kind of long. And then his third skill stuns the target. I think he's going to be a good leadership for your purple defensive team in Reviving Hell's Dungeon for sure. Because not only does he have the leadership, but he's also got super armor. So you can give him a stun striker. But he also has stun and when the guard's included on the third skill. So he actually will probably be really good. Plus he has a 3 PG card on top of that. And then his striker skill is a stun for 2 seconds, which is really nice. So you can still use him as a striker in Reviving Hell's Dungeon or as your damage dealing character. And he does have a 3 PG card like I mentioned earlier. Okay, that's a pretty quick little skill. It looks like it's a short range attack. Okay, short range attack, alright. Yeah, I really think this guy's going to be... I mean, the stun could come in handy in Championship, and having that super armor is nice. Plus the gaining the defense. I mean, we'll see. I mean, he could be decent. We'll see. Okay. Little up kick there. Alright. A little bit of a short animation, which was longer. His animations on his PGs are kind of short. I really wish they were longer. But we'll see. We'll see how relevant he's going to be. But you definitely can use him for your purple defensive team in Reviving Hell's Dungeon. Now for Rio, who is a Fest and a blue fighter, blue attack, which we absolutely need. We need more blue fighters. So his leadership, and he has a great leadership. And he could be a great leadership for this Immortal Vulkan that we have going on. Because he does offer that PG gain from his leadership. Score effect, 60% stun duration decrease. Okay, so he's not going to get stunned a whole lot. That's really good. He does have chill attack damage, which is nice. He's got dot effects. Increased damage by 24% on a critical hit. That's a lot of extra damage on critical hits. So he's going to be a damage dealing monster. Plus he's an attack type. And then he has increased damage by 90% for 5 seconds upon landing a skill on a target with 50% HP or more on a 12-second cooldown. So when he hits a target that has 50% HP or more, he's going to deal an increase of damage by 90%. Plus, he's also had that increased damage by 20% on critical hit. He should have a lot of power. 50% chance to reset the cooldown of Miyuko Raijinsu. I probably said that wrong. I'm sorry if I butchered that name. Skill upon landing a strike skill. So he has a 50% chance to reset the cooldown of this skill upon landing a strike skill. Okay. And then decrease the target's attack by 30% for 5 seconds when attacked at shield enemy. So he's going to weaken the opponents when they are chilled, and then the PvP exclusive freezes the attacker for 2 seconds when attacked while stunned. So when he's facing characters, when he gets stunned, he's going to freeze them. So if he's facing a pretty big and he gets stunned from her core effect, guess what? She gets frozen. So he's actually going to be a decent counter for those kinds of characters. So his first skill is the skill that can get reset, and his other two skills have strike skills. So you can do this skill here and then maybe do one of these other skills and then reset your first skill, which is great. Plus it decreases damage received by 70%, making him more of a tank. And since he's an attack type, that is nice for 3 seconds. Applies cold spell for 6 seconds to the target upon a successful attack. Deals chill damage equal to 30% of attack every 1 second. So lots of chill damage, which is great. It's nice to see he has a dot effect, which actually could be very good. And Immortal Typho, and he's a blue fighter, so he might be really good against this new Immortal Vulkan as well. Plus he decreases attack speed by 10%, movement speed by 10%, slowing down your opponents, which will help enable you to interrupt their skills. And then inflicts damage equal to 688% of attack to an enemy. Increase the attack by 29% for 7 seconds. Nice to see an attack buff. Plus the PvP exclusive disable the target's roll for 4 seconds when a successful skill guard included ends. This is actually very good. And it's very good because he disables their roll, right? Even when they're guarding. So the only way for them to avoid it is to dodge it. And he gains super armor for 3 seconds when using a skill. And this is really great, because he also has 70% chance to ignore the target's guard upon a successful attack. It's a shame it's 70% and not 100%, which means you always have that chance. That's kind of, it won't, so when I see this kind of thing, it makes me think, well, he's going to be really good, but he's not going to be top tier, but still really good, because he can disable their roll, and then you could hit him. They won't be able to roll. You can actually hit him with this third skill, have your super armor up, and ignore their guard. So unless they have like hyper armor or super armor, you will be able to interrupt their skills, knock them around, and go into your combos, which is really great. This has a low cooldown, fairly low cooldown, and a low cooldown here. So it's actually really good as cooldowns are fairly low. That's going to help us combo strings. And then he deals chill damage equal to 27% attack to the target every 1 second. So as far as the striker skill, he'd be really good for the spider robot. Probably would actually be better as a damage dealer for the spider robot. And again, probably maybe good for the Elemental Typhoon as well. Skill preview, let's check what he's got going on here. So he does have a 3 PG card that's already in the game. Alright. So this is a short range attack. And that's the skill that can be reset. Okay, pretty fast skill, but again, I believe it's a short range attack. But it is pretty quick. I mean, you gotta admit, it's pretty fast. It's a very quick startup. And then the third skill. Okay, so something I noticed really quickly about his third skill is it is fairly fast, but you definitely see the startup because you see the super armor highlight and then he attacks. So it could be a skill that people could dodge and get away from depending on how fast their reaction speed is, how fast their internet connection is, their device is. We'll have to wait and see. But again, it looks like a close range attack. So all of his skills are short range, so you're going to have to play him where you're close to the enemy. But he does have the disable roll on his second skill, and he does have the 70% chance to ignore their guard on the third skill. So we'll have to see. Okay, short animation. All right, there we go. Still a pretty short animation. I really like to see a long animation. Yeah, nice. Rio's all about doing that. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Now see, this is a fairly long animation. It's really the best animation of them all, in my opinion. The Ryuko Rambu EX. That's really the best one. My opinion, even though he does have a 3 PG. So we'll have to wait and see until we test these characters. We really don't know. Right now we have the male week going on championship. So if I get them, I'll be able to test them in championship and really give you a better evaluation of what I think about the character. Right now, my initial impression would be, just from looking at his skills and looking at his core effects, is he's going to be a good character. I don't know if he's going to be a top tier, but probably a counter for those characters that have stuns, so we'll have to see. So we are going to go for gold and try to get Rio. Right now I have 5,000 rubies. I am almost to the pity, so we only need 16 more to get to the 260, And then I need 40 more summons to get to the loyalty reward. So I should have enough rubies. Go ahead and do our free summon. We'll go ahead and do our free card summon. And the 5-tier card really is the one with the best animations. Unfortunately, another something I noticed is Rio doesn't have any PG gain in his core effects. So you still might want to have that 3 PG card versus this, but we'll have to wait and see. Right? For Rio, I might end up going for his 5 PG card. Well, I'm not really sure at this point. I really just want to get the character for now. Come on. Come on. Give me this guy. Give me this guy. That would be freaking insane. That way I could get his memory at the end and have him awaken. Because if you bring in a character that's unawakened in Championship, you're at a big disadvantage. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. And by the way, as far as any of you, whether or not you should pull, remember there's going to be a collaboration coming up. So you might want to conserve on your rubies and wait before you go pull them, because Rio isn't going anywhere. He isn't going anywhere. So if you can be patient, you might be better off just to wait and see what collab we get and how relevant those characters are going to be in the game before you start spending your rubies and pulling for this guy. Because we are coming up on one, and I'm not getting crap for luck. Holy crap, we're getting crapped on left and right. Oh my lord. This is terrible. Oh my lord, not one fest. Not one fest. What is going on? You bastards. Come on now. Oh my god. This is absolutely terrible. Okay? Okay, so I don't have enough rubies. Give me a second, guys, and let me get a few rubies. Okay, now we're back. I went ahead and just made a small little $10 purchase. That way I could get these rubies. Let's go ahead and get this guy. It's a real shame that I got to use him for the pity. Please let me get him right now. That is some terrible luck. Not one fest in all those pulls. Not one fest. Which means that he isn't awakened, which is a real freaking bum freaking deal. That sucks. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Select. So there we go. So I will be testing Ryu in Championship, and I will give you guys a review on the characters. So let me know how you're all feeling about the new characters. Let me know how you're feeling about the new Immortal Vulkan. I actually think this might be a freaking nightmare of a challenge, but we'll have to wait and see. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one.